Welcome everybody into Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas, home of the Newton Rebels. We are now at the bottom of the second. I apologize about the delayed start. That first pitch goes to the outside. Looks like it's barely going to slip the outside side of the strike zone. 1-1 count. And that's going to bring it up to a 1-2 count to start us out here. Still a 0-0 ball game. No runs scored by either side. Pretty much a defensive battle, it feels like, to start us out here. Once again, bottom of the second, 0 runs. Make that now a 2-2 count. Next pitch heads in, and that's going to make it a 3-2 count. Full count now. Clearly a batter versus pitcher type of situation. Of course, the Rebels facing off against the Kings. Rebels coming off their first victory of the season just a few days ago. That pitch heads low, and it's going to be a walk over to first base. Good job by the Rebels to stay disciplined from the batter's box, and they get rewarded, of course, with the walk to first. Next pitch heads in, and that's going to be straight down the strike zone, 0-1 count. Like Marcus Pollard now in the right-handed hitter, right-handed outfielder, I should say, out of Alabama, it looks like, junior, over, of course, at Northern State. Pitch heads in, and Pollard going to be patient on that one, not going to swing at it. Going to bring up an 0-2 count. Guess they thought, at least the umpire thought the pitch was just a little bit inside, bringing up, of course, that ruling. King is trying to stay disciplined here, trying to make sure there's not a steal going from first to second. Good start. Tentative approach should kind of get away with that in a 0-0 run game. Bottom of the second once again. Pitch heads in, and Pollard makes contact, bounces off of the pitcher, off of his ankle, and it leads to the single. Runners now on first and second for the Newton Rebels.
Number 27, Lance White.
Lance White now going to be setting up to bat. The right-handed hitter once again for the Rebels. Runners on first and second. That pitch going to be coming in a little bit low. 1-0 count now. Shane Holman sends this one in and down the middle, going to lead to the hit, but going to lead to the double play by the Kings defense. The Rebels are able to advance a runner over to third, but they sacrifice on first and second. I don't know, maybe one step forward, 2 steps backward. 2 outs now, bottom of the second. Once again, runner on third for the Rebels. And that's going to be hit over to first base, and that will bring the second inning to a close. As, of course, neither team, the Kings or the Rebels, have been able to get, of course, all the way back around to home. Still a 0-0 run game. We'll be back, top of the third, coming up. Of course, this is Newton Rebels taking on the Kings. Stay with us. You don't want to miss a thing. And welcome everybody back into Newton, Kansas. The top of the third coming up here between the Kings and the Rebels. Been more of a defensive standstill, it feels like, between these two teams. The Rebels got a quick 3 outs in the top of the first, and so did the Kings in the bottom of the first. And we just saw the bottom of the second. The Rebels got struck out after, having some luck from in terms of hitting, but nevertheless the Kings stood strong on the defensive side. First pitch heads in and nearly was caught out at third base, but the Rebels not able to quite bring it down. The runner's going to advance over to first, and the Kings already on base, top of the third once again.
Apologies. Number 9, Luke Stuckey.
Stuckey, now the right-handed hitter, going to be setting up for the Kings in the batter's box. Colby Gomez still the pitcher for the Rebels. He's pitched all innings so far. Pitch heads in. Going to be down the bottom side of the strike zone. Ryan Ruggiero. Once again, your catcher, the hometown boy. 0-1 count. Second pitch. Sent in, and that one's going to be a little bit outside and to the right. 1-1 count. That second inning was brought to you by Ken Holland American Family Insurance. 1-1 count. Pitch comes in and fouled out to the right side. Right there by the Kings. For Union State Bank, foul ball. Gomez fires it in there, and that one is made contact with, goes between second and third, and the Rebels unable to convert on the double play opportunity. Runner's going to advance to first and second. Once again, we are in the top of the third after a quick first 2 innings. Van Hamburg, once again, going to be out at the top of the batting lineup. His second trip over to the batter's box. Hamburg out of Wichita, Kansas. Some experience with the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles, actually on the west side of Wichita. Colby Gomez setting up on the pitch mound. Umpire gives him the go-to. And here we go. Now, first pitch is going to result. I believe it was a little bit outside. See kind of what the ruling is. Here shortly. Next pitch fired in there. Trying for the bunt is the Kings, trying to load up the bases. It'll be an 0-1 count. Once again, runners on first and second for the Kings. Now trying to load up the bases with Hannenberg in the batter's box. That pitch a little bit to the outside. 2-1 count. Henry takes a swing at that one down low and is going to be staying in play inside of the infield. Actually, no, the umpire going to send it back over to the batter's box. Just before it reached third base, the ball did just barely graze over the foul line to the left side. One more chance is Hannenberg going to have at it. 2-2 count. Gomez fires that one in there. Hannenberg did make contact with it, but it will be another foul ball out to the right side of course, the field of play. First responders night, actually for the Newton Rebels. They get all the first responders out there that make every day possible, of course, and makes it possible for us to come out here to Klein Scott Field Every single week, Handberg makes contact out to third base. Runner is out at third, but Handberg able to make it over to first. 1 out. Once again, top of the third. Runner's going to be on first and second still for the Kings. Jackson Nelson making his second trip over to the batter's box. Left-handed hitter for the Kings. Colby Gomez remaining on the pitching mound. Fires this one in there, and Ellison does make contact. We'll see if the Rebels can get him out of play. And it looks like they are successful from what I was able to see. Of course, the post was in my way, gosh dang it, but that will be the second out of the top of the third. Once again, a great defensive stance so far, top of the third for the Newton Rebels. Landon Haynes now going to be setting up right-handed hitter right in front of Ryan Ruggiero, the catcher for the Rebels. Gomez looking over at the runner at second, going to fire it in to the strike zone. At least try to. Going to be a little bit high. 1-0 count. Contact is made with that pitch, but it will be a foul ball. 1-1 count. Big contact with was that pitch, but the ball went straight over to the first baseman for the Rebels, and they take care of business, getting the third out of the top of the third, bringing the top of the third to a close. Once again, the Newton Rebels standing up strong on the defensive side of the first half of tonight's doubleheader. Stay with us. Bottom of the third coming up. The Rebels going to be getting over to the batter's box.
Check out our webpage. www.
Welcome back in the Newton, Kansas, the home of the Newton Rebels. Bottom of the third, fixing to commence in this 0-0 ball game. 0 runs for either the Kings or the Rebels. Rebels coming off their first win of the season. The Kings, on the other hand, still looking for their first. First pitch is in from Holman, and made contact with by the batter for the Rebels, but going to be a foul ball just to the left side of the field of play. Chris Clark looks that one over, looks out to swing at it. 0-1 count currently. Next pitch coming up. That pitch a little bit to the inside, but Clark still swings for the fences, and that will be the third out, or the third strike, excuse me. 3 strikes and you are, of course, out, and that is 1 out already for the Rebels. Bottom of the third once again. Ryan Ruggiero, of course, the catcher for the Rebels. Seen him all night long, it feels like. Not going to swing at that one. Strike number 1. Fires in there once again, and Brian takes a big swing at that one. A little bit to the bottom right of the strike zone. 0-2 count. So bottom of the third, 0 runs for either side. Ruggiero. Not going to swing at that one. Good decision, 1-2 count. He does take a swing at that one, though, and this will be a foul ball to the right side, but the first baseman for the Kings able to get him out. Of course, outside of play. Tough break for Ruggiero. But nevertheless, so a lot of time in this tied-up ball game for the Rebels to get some more runners on base and to get some runners home. Jordan Lopez. Next up on the sheet for the Rebels. Make the second trip out. So this one over, takes a swing at it. Going to be along the foul line to the right side. Going to be a foul ball. 0-1 count. Lopez swings at that one, going to stay in the infield for the pop fly, and the third baseman for the Kings comes up and gets yet another out on the Newton Rebels. Make the 2 outs now. Bottom of the third. Fourth inning coming your way, or excuse me, it will be the third out of the inning. Got a little confused there myself, but the top of the fourth going to be coming your way. Stay with us. Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Newton Rebels tied up with the Kings. 0 apiece. Brady Kuzma going to be starting us out for the Kings. Coming up once again, I believe Gomez still in as the pitcher for the Newton Rebels. Let you know if I'm wrong. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. Probably won't be the last, but nevertheless, 0-0 is the score. Bottom of the fourth. That pitch should be coming in a little bit too high. Ruggiero keeps it out of harm's way. 1-0 count. Next pitch should be down the strike zone. 1-1 count. Gomez fires that one. Going to be a foul ball to the right side. 1-2 count. Colby Gomez really having a stellar day from the pitching mound so far in this ball game. Not allowing a single run so far. Don't want the announcing jinx to come out, but that is a ball right there. 2-2 count. That one is swung at by the Kings, and the Rebels just able to get the runner out at first. Tremendous job by the defense of the Rebels of keeping that ball in the infield and not letting it go once it hit their mitts, obviously. 1 out. Already top of the fourth. Gomez pitches this next one and heading right over to first base. And Gomez finishes the job, gets the runner out at first. Another great defensive play by the Newton Rebels. Very exciting brand of basketball being played so far. It feels like Derman Vargas, designated hitter, is going to be next up for the Kings. Gomez fires it in a little bit low, or no, the umpire is going to say it stayed within the strike zone, 0-1 count. Rogerio picks up the ground ball on that one, 1-1 count. Different pitch, same story, exact same pitch, actually 2-1 count now. Gomez doesn't want to get too complacent here and allow a walk. Once again, having a tremendous day from the pitching mound. Fires that one in there and forces the swing as that ball did hit straight down the strike zone. 2-2 count now. Gomez trying for yet another strikeout. Fires it in, and the batter does make contact with that one. It heads straight past the second baseman for the Rebels, and it allows the Kings to get back on base, running out on first.
Now batting number 26, Carson Smith.
Next batter now heading out for the Kings once again. Sorry about that. Runner on first base for the Kings. Going to reset the count, and Gomez going to try again, growing his strikeout total. 2 outs, still top of the 4. Carson Smith stares that one down, and Rogerio not able to quite bring in the pitch. He fires the ball over to second base, not quite able to make contact, or at least convert on the pass. Runner going to be able to advance all the way over to third on that one. Carson Smith, still the right-handed batter, out currently for the Kings. Gomez fires it in there. Smith makes contact, but the ball going to go head straight back. With a fence right behind him, 1-1 count. Once again, contact made by Smith out to the right side. Good for the foul ball, 1-2 count. Umpire telling Gomez to stand off or hold off. Make sure everything was in play and where they were supposed to be. Gives him the right to go. Fires that one in there, and Smith makes contact once again out to right field. And the Rebels able to get yet another out at right field. Once again, 3 outs now, top of the 4th. And just like that, we're heading over to the bottom of the 4th as the Rebels once again stand strong on the defensive side. We'll see what happens at the bottom of the 4th. Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Stay with us. Of course, you don't want to miss a thing. And welcome everybody back into Klein Scott Field, bottom of the 4th. Coming up, the Rebels once again going to be in the batter's box. in a prime position to potentially put some runs on the board. But first, I want to thank some of our financial partners: Newton Lions Club, Best Pest Control, Miller Insurance Agency Incorporated, American Family Insurance, Charleston Insurance, Union State Bank, and Faith and Life Bookstore. Umpire still holding things up, but once again, the Rebels coming off their very first win of the season just a few days ago. Now 1-3 on the season, and the Kings still desperate for their first win. They played 4 and they've lost 4, but hopefully for them, they turn their fortunes around and get a win before they leave Newton, Kansas, of course, tonight. First half of the doubleheader we're seeing right now between these two clubs. Bottom of the fourth, once again, 0-1 count after that very first pitch sent in by the Kings. Cheerio. Or, excuse me, Justice Hensley. Saw that one wrong from my vantage point. My apologies. 0-2 count. Hensley going to be steering this one down. That pitch was a little bit too low. 1-2 count. Good job of staying disciplined, not swinging at that. That pitch once again a little bit inside and low on that pitch. For the Kings defensive side, 2-2 count. Next pitch is fired in, and Hensley makes contact. Will be a foul ball to the right side. Still 2-2 count. Ullman waits, sets up, and sends this one in there. And it will be yet another strike and a strikeout for the Kings. Of course, the Rebels still trying to get back on base after, of course, they were successful earlier on in the outing tonight. Zhang now next up to try and get on base for the Rebels. First pitch heads in, a little bit to the inside. 0-1, 1-0 count, excuse me. Ullman straight down the middle. 1-1 count. Made contact with out to right field, but it will be the second out of the bottom of the fourth up against, of course, the Newton Rebels. Maybe there's a few more chances here, bottom of the fourth, once again, to get on base. But the Rebels seem to be, I mean, they're staying with the Kings consistently, exactly what the coaching staff and company want to see. Bottom of the fourth, and that ball is made contact with by the Rebels, but it will be a close out at first, which was converted by the defense of the Kings. Bringing up the end of the bottom of the fourth, and we're now heading over all the way into the fifth inning. Stay with us. You don't want to miss a thing.
Car wash love.
Welcome back to the Klein Scott Field. Top of the fifth. Still 0-0 is the overall score. The Kings once again setting up to try and get on base and get their first run on the board this evening, of course. Araya going to be heading over to the batter's box. Gomez fires it in there, and that is made contact with out to left field. Will result in a base hit. Good job by the Rebels outfield. Of course, not letting that advance over to second and even third base. Stuckey now. Going to set up, Luke Stuckey, I should say. Big number 9 right-handed hitter. Going to set up. Top of the fifth. Runner on first. 0 outs. Stuckey is able to make contact with the bunt along the right foul line, and a really beautiful placement. Forced the first baseman to draw his way in aside, and Stuckey did the rest. He really just had an unevaded line over first base. Runners now on first and second. Gomez keeping an eye on second base. Hamburg makes contact with a bunt of his own. So the Rebels can get a different result, and they do. They get Hamburg, it looks like out at first base, if I'm not mistaken, but he did advance the runners over to second and third. With a sacrifice bunt, we'll see if it pays off for, of course, the Kings.
Number 5, Jackson Ellison.
Jackson Ellison. Now star trip over to the batter's box today. Up against Gomez, who still is in the game, has not left the game so far today. Top of the fifth. Gomez fires it in. And it will be a call to ball just outside of the strike zone, just to the outside once again, 1-0 count. Colby Gomez next pitch, just a little bit to the low, a little bit low once again, 2-0 count. That ball going to be flying straight up in the air. Ruggiero tried to maybe bring that one down, but the ball will go back just a little bit too far, 2-1 count. Fifth inning of play brought to you by Miller Insurance Agency Incorporated, independent insurance agency for Newton and surrounding areas. Pitch goes to the outside, 3-1 count. Gomez fires that one in there, and the hit does go to right field. And it looks like it might have went all the way outside. First home run of Klein Scott Field this year, and that will, of course, put the Kings finally on the board. Taking, I believe, a 3-0 lead now, top of the fifth once again. Some pressure now being built on the backs of the Rebels. We'll see how they look to respond and get some points up on the board for themselves. Gomez fires it in and then out to left field. Outfield really being challenged right now, but the Rebels able to bring that one down for the second out. Top of the fifth. Good response after, of course, the previous home run.
Next to that, number 4, Brady Boomsma.
Brady Boomsma. Next up, right-handed hitter for the Kings. Big number 4.
Sure, go ahead.
A pitch down the middle, 0-1 count. Gomez fires that one in there. Once again, the Kings make contact, but the center fielder for the Rebels brings that one down. The third out of the top of the fifth. The Kings finally finding some success, getting their first 3 runs on the board after that beautiful home run. But the Rebels now have a chance to respond. Bottom of the fifth, coming up from Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Stay with us.
Brought to you by Miller Insurance Agency. Hosting a Rebels player can be a great experience for you and your family. These young men are great role models for kids and a lot of fun to have around. Interested in hosting a Rebels player next
And welcome back, everybody, into Klein Scott Field. We're going to get some more special love to our financial sponsors. Court-appointed special advocates. Midway Motors of Newton, Mark Fox Legal, Wygan Realtor, Conradi Insurance Group, Pate and Pa LLC Attorney at Law, Conradi Insurance Group, once again, Patridge Roofing Services, People's Bank and Trust, Platinum PDR plus Paints. Just to name a few, once again. Bottom of the fifth coming up. We just saw the Kings finally get their first 3 runs on the board over, of course, the Newton Rebels. We'll see how the Newton Rebels look to respond here, man. They really have not been pushovers themselves this afternoon. And, of course, they don't want to, of course, drop the first of the 2 games we're going to be seeing tonight between these 2 clubs.
49, Marcus Pollard.
Marcus Pollard will be starting us out. Pollard has a lean back to avoid that pitch right there. 1-0 count. Bowman fires that one in, and that will be another strike. 1-1 count. Bowman a little bit to the outside. 2-1. And finally, the Rebels make contact with it, sends it straight up to center field. And the outfielder for the Kings not quite able to haul that one in there. The Rebels rounding the bases. Once again, the Kings not able to keep, of course, Pollard from getting all the way over to third base. Quick response early on for the Rebels, but still more work to do. Got to get them home. Lance Wyke next up. Batting for the Rebels after that big triple play by Pollard. First pitch a little bit to the outside, 1-0 count. Bottom of the fifth, still the Kings, 3-0 lead. Holman a little bit low, 2-0 count. Wyke not complaining about that. Wyke makes contact straight over the second baseman out to center field. And just like that, the Rebels find themselves on the board. Marcus Pollard makes his way back around to home plate. And just like that, the Rebels cut the lead down to 3-1, I should say, with the Kings still being up. Bottom of the fifth, still 0 outs. Runner now on first. Cooper Addison. Not going to swing at that one. And Wyke tries to steal for second, but he does find himself being called out at, of course, the second plate. 1 out. Bottom of the fifth. Next pitch, down the middle, 1-1 count. One to the outside on the next one, 2-1. Addison still trying to make contact. Pitch a little bit low to the outside, 3-1. And Holman going to be walking Addison all the way over to first. Haven't seen that too often today, but the Rebels aren't going to be complaining about it, I don't think. Addison now at first. Now runner only on first for the Rebels.
Next at bat, number 10, Hayden Robles.
As Robles going to be up next. Let's try and make contact and advance Addison all the way over to home. Shane Holman going to stay in the game on the pitching mound for the Kings. Some discussion. Robles not going to be tested right there as they try to get Addison out at first, unsuccessfully.
Once again,
unsuccessful. First pitch, heads down the middle, 0-1 count. Robles once again. Batter for the Rebels. Pitch is a little bit to the outside, out of Robles' reach. Good job by him, though, of not swinging at it. 1-1 count. Over to the inside. Rebels swings for the fences, though, on that one. 1-2 count. Addison once again, the runner on first for the Rebels. Robles finally makes contact out to left field. Will it hit the ground? No, it will not. The Kings get him out. But Addison able to stay on first and avoid the third out. What would have been the third out of the inning. 2 outs now for the Kings, if I'm not mistaken. The bottom of the 5th.
To that, number 7, Ryan Ruggiero.
Ryan Ruggiero. Next up, kid out of Newton, Kansas. Catcher for the Rebels. Still a runner on first for the Rebels. First pitch, outside, ball 1. One fires that one in there, and Ruggiero sends it between second and third out to left field, and he advances over to first. And Addison, of course, advances over to second.
Number 32,
Rebels not going away just yet. Jordy Lopez. Next up. And Lopez makes quick contact, but over to first base. And once again, the Kings able to close out the inning successfully after giving up 1 run, bottom of the 5th. Top of the 6th coming up. The Rebels still trying to get some stuff going here. Down 2 now. They have a big defensive stand coming up here. We'll be back. Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Welcome everybody back into Newton, Kansas. Let's give a quick shout out to the rest of course, our financial partners for the Newton Rebels. Conrad Insurance Group, Patridge Roofing Services, People's Bank and Trust, Platinum PDR Plus Paint, Roofing Services Unlimited, Shamrock Car Wash and Pouch Enterprises, John Oldham family, Newton Rebels founder Carl Hodges and family, and Arma Coatings of Wichita. Now, host families, Becky Day family, Carrie Bood family, Heather Haskew family, Hope Graber family, Kelly Peoples family, Kim Pouch family, Melissa Wardell family, and Michelle Kaufman family. Thank you, everybody, for making this season possible for the Newton Rebels. Of course, none of this happens without each and every one of you. Our in-kind supporters also Gorilla Apparel Signs and Webbing, Back Alley Pizza, Bob Burke, and BuyLocalPlus.com magazine, Newton Recreational Commission, YMCA of Newton, and Summer Days.
Now that number 2, Gunnar Hewitt.
Top of the sixth. Kings then trying to grow their 3-1 lead.
And now pitching, number 34, Trenton
We
Zarecki.
do finally see our first pitching change now for the Rebels. Trenton Zarecki. Hand over the pitching mound. Going to start out his day.
Sorry, Chris. I'm ditching you.
Gunnar Hewitt makes contact with that one. Going to be a pop fly, and Rogero able to bring it down. Almost slipped over the bat in the foul territory, but avoids it, of course. 1 out now, top of the sixth.
Now batting, number 15, Derman Rajas.
Dermot Barros. Next up, to bat for the Kings.
Once again,
featuring Trenton Zarecki
for the Rebels.
That one straight down the middle, 0-1 count. That pitch a little bit to the outside, high and inside, I should say. 1-1 count. Zarecki a little bit to the outside on the next pitch, 2-1 count. Zarek takes a deep breath, receives a signal from Jero behind the plate, fires it in there, and will be fouled off. 2-2 count. Barros makes contact finally. Over to third base, and then over to first base. For the out, 2 outs now. Top of the sixth for the Rebel defense. Next up now going to be Carson Smith.
Next at bat, number 26, Carson Smith.
Carson's in 7th in the batting order.
Once again,
Zarecki, I should say. Picture on the pitching mound for the Rebels. Pitch comes inside the strike zone, 0-1 count. 2 outs once again, top of the sixth. Kings, 3-1 lead. Looking for the first victory of the season. Big, of course, still early on in the season. Anything can happen. Don't let the standings fool you at this time of the year. They've always made contact with and out the right field. And the Rebels find yet another out. 3 outs now, top of the sixth. We'll be back. Bottom of the sixth coming your way. It's a highly contested match with the Kings still up 3-1 over, of course, the 1-3 Newton Rebels. Stay with us. More action coming your way. You don't miss a thing.
First at bat, number 3.
Okay. Next pitch, a little bit to the inside, but the umpire going to say it stayed within the strike zone. 1-1 count. Holman, next pitch, 2-1. Bunt at that time by the Rebels, just as Hensley makes contact, and he will get all the way over to first. Successful job at getting a runner on base for the Rebels, who once again are trying to cut into a 3-1 deficit. They're currently facing up against the Kings, or no, they're going to foul it off. Excuse me, I spoke a little bit too soon, my bad. 2-2 count. I said earlier, one of my first mistake, and there you have it. Goodness gracious. 2-2 count. Make that 3-2, full count now. Hensley versus Holman. We'll see who prevails. Hensley not going to swing at it, but the umpire going to say that Holman essentially striked out the batter on his 67th pitch of the evening. Dominant stretch for him so far. Saying now, next up, third in the batting lineup for the Rebels tonight. First pitch, outside, ball 1. Holman next up. Saying makes contact, but will be fouled to the left side. 1-1 count. Next one goes over the head of Saying on that one. Holman went crazy on that one. 2-1 count. Holman next up. Zing makes contact. Going to be a fly ball up to center field. It looks like the Kings able to bring it down indeed. 2 outs now already. Bottom of the 6th. Rebels already have their backs up against the wall. Gable will be next up to bat for him. Titan Goebel receives the pitch. Not going to swing at it. Umpire once again says it stays just inside the strike zone. 0-1 count. Goebel not going to swing at that one. Outside, 1-1. Holman's 75th pitch coming up. Heads in there, Goebel swings at it. 1-2 count. 2 outs once again. Bottom of the 6th. Kings up 3-1 over the Rebels. Inside, 2-2.
Holman fires it in.
Goebel makes contact, keeps himself alive. 2-2 remains the count. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Holman to the inside, going to be a full count, 3-2. Goebel staying in it in this, of course, picture batter battle. That was in there, and Goebel makes contact, but will they get him out at first? They indeed will. The Kings close out yet another inning. Top of the 7th coming up. The 5th scoreless inning for the Rebels. 5 also for the Kings, but if you remember, top of the 5th, they did score that big-time home run that put them up by 2 runs. Indeed, but the Rebels still have a lot of time. Only going to be the top of the 7th coming up. So we'll see what happens from Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Stay with us. Carlos Orega going to be starting us off for the Kings, of course. Starting off batting for the Kings. Still, Zareki in it, pitching for the Rebels after we saw Kobe Gomez pitch the first handful of innings for the Rebels. Now goes in there, going to be a pop fly out to the left foul territory. And great job by the third base for the Rebels, being able to chase that one down and get the first out of the top of the seventh.
Next at bat, number 9, Luke Stuckey.
Luke Stuckey, next up. Inside goes the pitch, 1-0 count. To the Kings, up 3-1, top of the seventh. Inside once again, 2-0 count. Top of catcher, Ryan Ruggiero. Inside, but barely inside the strike zone, says the umpire, 2-1 count. High to the left, 3-1 count. Rapid fire from Zareki right now. That pitch gonna walk the runner over to first. Get some miscommunication from Ruggiero and Zareki on that one, but never know. Van Hanberg. Let's get into Wichita, Kansas. Setting up. Top of the seventh, 1 out. The runner out at first does Zareki, unsuccessful. Hanberg still set up. Over the pitch.
Wait a little bit long.
Pitch inside. A little bit out of the reach of Hanberg on that one, it feels like. 0-1 count. Next pitch made contact with by the batter out to right field, and the Rebels bring down the second out of the top of the seventh. Once again, a defensive standstill between these two clubs. Which team's going to blink first?
Number 5, Jackson Ellison.
Jackson Ellison next up, as we just heard. Base a little low, ball 1. Base opens on the outside, 2-0. Directly only 19 pitches so far, 20th on the way. Oh, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Once again, it's testing out that runner at first base, trying to kind of tire him out, it feels like. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Fires that one in there and made contact with, but the Rebels able to get the runner out at first base, bringing up the end of the top of the 7th. Time beginning to run out for the Rebels, who still trail 3-1, but shown a lot of fight so far in Clyde Scott Field. Once again, this is the first half of tonight's doubleheader between these two clubs, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I am, though. More action coming your way.
It's time to stand up and stretch out and sing along with the best song in baseball. Taking out to the ballpark. Welcome to the 7th inning stretch.
Marcus Farwell once again up to bat for the Newton Rebels. Pitching change made by the Diamond Kings during that break. See Colby Morgan for the first time this evening, his first pitch inside ball 1. Bottom of the 7th, Kings still up 3-1. Pitch inside of the strike zone, 1-1 count. Fires that one in there, and the Rebels make contact. Gonna try and beat him over to first. Unsuccessful. Out number 1. Bottom of the 7th.
Now at bat, number 27, Lance White.
Lance White now next up. See him make some plays from first and third base so far this season. Trying to get himself back on base himself. As a rookie, I should say. One out, bottom of the first. Bottom of the 7th. What am I trying to say? First pitch in the dirt, 1-0 count. Curveball to the inside. Strike number 1. That pitch, straight line driven. To the right side of the strike zone, 2-1 count. Pitch made contact with by the Rebels, but once again, the Kings get him out at first base. Strike out. Not even a strikeout. Out number 2. What am I trying to say here? Bottom of the 7th. 2 outs. Oh, okay. Made contact with by the Rebels out to right field. Let's see if the ball hits the ground. It will not. The Kings, once again, make quick work of the Rebels in the bottom of the 7th. This game is flying by. Only an hour and 23 in, and only basically 1.5 innings left. We'll see what happens when we come back. Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Don't miss a thing.
And that will be game 1.
And with, of course, it being a doubleheader, the game will be called right there. 3-1 is the victory for the Kings. My apologies once again. The Rebels take, once again, another loss on the season. 1-4 is now their overall season record. After they took their first win of the season in the previous ball game. But they will get a quick chance at redemption near the top of the hour when these teams once again face off in Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Thank you for joining me. My name is Adrian Holgate once again. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Game 2 of this doubleheader coming up. You know where to find us. Thank you very much. Once again, stay with us.
Welcome everybody.
Back into Klein Scott Field. Newton, Kansas, home of the Newton Rebels, who just took the 3-1 loss to, of course, the Kings just about 30 or so minutes ago in the first game of this back-to-back slate between these two teams. Obviously, the game we just saw got delayed by a day or so due to some inclement weather we had earlier this past weekend. Van Hanberg going to be starting us off from the batter's box for the Kings. Start off this next matchup. Joseph Tredemeyer going to be the pitcher to start us off on the pitching mound. For game number 2, this back-to-back set. Once again, the Rebels fell short against the Kings. Just 30 minutes ago, but they're going to look to get some redemption before the night is over.
The upcoming first inning will be brought to you by Steve Robertson, owner of Best Pest Control. Free estimates over 20 years experience. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Choose Best Pest Control for your call today, 316-284-2168. And first at bat, number 75, Van Heinberg.
First inning
brought to you by Newton Lions Club. Van Hanberg, right-handed pitcher out of Wichita, Kansas, setting up to take in the pitch to start off the second game of the evening. Swings for the fences on that one. Doesn't hit much. A 1 count.
That's great.
Base number 2 on the way. About to be on the way, I should say. To fires that one in the Hanberg does make contact. Will be fouled out to the left, just left of home plate. 0-2 count. Top of the first, still 0 outs once again. Second half.
on the
2-game evening slate in Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas, I should say. Hanberg makes contact once again, but this time the Rebels will get him out at first. No, Hanberg will be just on time on his arrival to, of course, to bag number 1.
Now batting number
First
5,
place.
Jackson Ellison.
First base. Runner on first now for the Kings. Top of the first. Second batter coming up. Jackson Ellison prepared to take in the pitch. Like, let's look at that one. Going to be a little bit to the outside. It's in Joseph Tredemeyer. Picture in currently for the Rebels, ball 1. Pitch number 2 to the outside once again, but outside of the reach of the catcher. Going to allow the runner to advance all the way over to second base. Ball number 2, 2-0 count. Van Hanberg once again the runner on second. Looking back at him. Send the pitch in, right down the middle. Once again, the catcher unable to bring it in. Not the start they were looking for, the Rebels. The second of 2 games being played once again, Klein Scott Field this evening, between the Kings and the Rebels. Next pitch is in. A little bit low once again. Going to be walked, 4-0 walk. Almost resistance being put up right there.
Now batting number 12, Landon Haynes.
Landon Haynes next up. For the Kings. Aiden Robles, catcher. The second game of this 2-game set. Ball comes in a little bit high. Robles hauls it in. Ball 1. Treadmeyer. Straight down the middle. Strike one. 1-1 count. 0 outs, top of the first. Next pitch just out of the reach of the hitter, or of the batter, I should say, allows a runner to advance to second and Hanbury to advance all the way over to home and put the Kings on the board here early. Rebels all the way facing a 1-0 deficit, top of the first. Made contact with once again. Foul ball to the left. Strike number 2. Landon Haynes. I can swing at that one. And once again, the catcher unable to bring it in. Robles. Runner advances to third. Two count. Thirteenth pitch on the way, a little bit low. Ball 3, full count, 3-2. Joseph Treadmeyer fires that one in there. Made contact with, and the Rebels get the runner out at first. Out number 1, top of the first.
Now batting number 15, Darren Vargas.
Vargas next up.
4th. The
batting
batting
line for the Kings. In this. Trimmer fires that one in there. Vargas swings for the fences. Robles brings in, catches the strike. Pitch number 2, a little bit to the low, but once again swung at by the batter. Strike 2.
Wow.
Top of the first. That pitch high into the left. Ball 1. 1-2 count. Next pitch low once again. Robles unable to bring in the pitch once again, a little bit low. And just like that, the Rebels down 2-0, top of the first. Slow start compared to the last game. Once again, still early. 2-2 count. Rebels haul that one in. Down low, 3-2 count. Treadmeyer, 20th pitch of the day coming up. Fires that one in. And it's going to be a little bit low. Walk.
Now it's at number
Runner
2,
heading over to first
Gunnar Hewitt.
for the Kings. Vargas just went over there, and Hewitt next up in the batting lineup for the Kings. Had some success last game. Saw that earlier on in the evening. Once again, 1 out, top of the first. Hewitt makes contact, foul ball to the left side. The danger zone. Don't think any cars are over there, but it can't be too careful. Strike. That pitch outside of the strike zone. Ball 1. 1-1 count. 1 out, top of the first. That pitch just to the outside of the strike zone. 2-1. Correction. 1-2. And the Rebels get the runner out at second, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Wouldn't it be the first time? Wouldn't it be the last time? And I am not wrong at that one. Okay, there you go. 2-2 count. Runner is indeed out. 2 outs. Top of the first. Next pitch outside. Full count now. 3-2. Tredmeyer still in as the pitcher. Gunnar Hewitt, left-handed hitter, in the batter's box. Hewitt out to right field, and the Rebels finish off the top of the first, give up 2 runs, but still a lot of game left to be played, a lot of time to get some runs up for themselves. We'll be back. Bottom of the first coming up from Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas.
Chris Clark.
Chris Clark going to be starting us out. Bottom of the first, the Rebels did give up 2 runs. Top of the first, but we'll see what they can do this try. Of course, Chris Clark, one of the more consistent hitters, I would say, for the Rebels this season. We'll see what he can do here. First pitch. Did we call a ball outside of the strike zone? 1-0 count. More of the same. Pitch number 2, 2-0 count. Outside and inside, actually, towards Clark and to the bottom, 3-0 count. Clark looking this one in, not going to fire at it. Strike 1. 3-1 isn't. Clark swings at another one, 3-2 count, full count. We'll see what happens here. Clark makes contact with that one out to third base, and Clark gonna beat him over to first, it looks like, from here. If I'm not mistaken, no, they will say that they just barely got him out at first. 1 out, bottom of the first. Tough break for the Rebels, but we'll see what they can do. Up next, Clark, one that just got called out at first. Batting lineup for the second game of this doubleheader. That pitch inside and to the top. Ball number 1. And that pitch, a fly ball inside, going to be called a foul. Didn't quite make it past the foul line itself. Break for the Rebels potentially. 1 count. Ball hit, fly ball, out to right field, going to be called out. 2 outs now. Bottom of the first.
Now batting number 13, Zach Boone.
Rebels once again a slow start compared to the last game. First game of their doubleheader, where they fell short 3-1 against the same King squad. Zach Boone, next up. Playing right field so far. This matchup for the Rebels. First hit, going to be hit out to right. Foul ball, straight out of play. Strike 1. Boone looking this one in. Makes contact, but it will be a foul ball. That fence was not right in front of me. Would have hit me right in the face, I'm afraid to say. 0-2. Once again, 2 outs. Boone not going to swing with that one. Going to be a little bit high. 1-2 count. Pitch fired in and swung at by Boone, and that is a strikeout. Tremendous job by, of course, the defense of the Kings. The pitcher on that one was Cooper Tannehill. First time we've seen his name get called tonight. Already making a big impact. He puts the Rebels away. Bottom of the first, allowing 0 runs. Kings up 2-0. Entering, of course, the second inning. We'll be back for that one at Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Stay with us. Welcome back, top of the second. Kings up 2-0 over the Rebels. See what they can do here. First pitch is in a little bit high. Going to be ball number 1. 0 runners on base for the Kings. We'll see if that changes. Pitch number 2, inside. Ball number 2. Third pitch sent in. Going to be outside the strike zone, the umpire says. Outside, away from the batter. Ball number 3. Trinmar fires that one in. Strike number 1, 3-1 count. Ariga going to be heading over to first base. Going to be walked all the way over there by Trinmar. 4-1 was the final count on that one. Put the runner on first. And put a new batter in the batter's box. It's going to be Carson Smith. Smith, unsuccessful on that try. Try to get on base however he could. 0-1 count. That ball going to be hauled in by the infielder for, of course, Newton Rebels. Get the runner out at second, but unsuccessful at getting the runner out at first. Out number one, top of the second. Zero out the count. Runner on first for the Kings.
Luke Stuckey.
Stuckey making his way. Back in front of Robles, the catcher for the Rebels. Treadmeyer staying in on top of the pitcher's mound. First pitch, down the middle, strike one. Pitch number two, a little bit low. Wills keeps it in play, trying to get the runner at first. Unsuccessful, a little bit slow, but nevertheless, ball number one, 1-1 count. Top of the second, runner on first for the Kings. Treadmeyer fires that one in there. Ball number two, 2-1 count. Next pitch fired up and into the air. Hot fly just past second base, and the Rebels indeed get the second out. Runner going to stay at first for the Kings, but
Now at bat, number
Rebels have a
99,
chance of putting
Carson Warren.
top of the second away, moving into the bottom of the second. Carson Morton. Pitch up high, ball number one. It's 2-0 over the Rebels. Rebels been to the NBC World Series 14 total times since their inception. That pitch. Came in, next one coming up. And the runner is going to try to steal second. We'll see if they're successful. No, the Rebels get the runner out at second themselves to get the third out of the top of the second. Defensive stand after a top of the first that brought 2 runs in for the Kings. Bottom of the second coming up in the second half of this doubleheader from Klein Scott Field. Newton, Kansas. We'll see if the Newton Rebels can avenge the previous loss we saw them take just roughly an hour ago. Stay with us. Bottom of the second coming up. Bottom of the second of the 7-inning affair between the Kings and the Newton Rebels. The Kings currently up 2-0 after a solid top of the first. We'll see what the Rebels can do to respond.
Drew Wardell.
They went runless in the bottom of the first, but we'll see what they can do in the bottom of the second. Being held over at the pitching mound to start us out here. Up first, Drew Wardle batting for the Rovers. First pitch. Down the middle. Strike one. Second pitch, swung at by Wardle. Strike number 2. Kings up 2-0. Bottom of the second. Foul ball. Going to be staying 0-2. Pitch number 4. Coming in Wardle. Gives them the ready to go. And this one heads in. A little bit low, but Wardle makes contact. The catcher doesn't know where he is at the moment. Wardle going to be staying at first. Thought about going over to second. Could be a wise decision, but nevertheless, the Rebels back on base.
Now batting number
Back over on first.
Alex Coyne.
Alex Conoyer, next up. Conoyer doesn't swing at that one, or said he does swing at that one. Foul ball to the right side. The danger zones of cars out there. Goodness gracious, I don't think he cares though. Strike one. Next pitch. Results in ball number 1. 1-1 count. Tannehill still the pitcher in for the Kings. 1-2 count. Runner on first. Bottom of the second. Looking to steal second, and he will be successful. The runner will be. Great heads-up play that time by Drew Wardle. Again, went all the way from first to second. Alex Conoyer, also Conoyer, getting walked all the way over to first. Up next, Aiden Robles. Catcher. Gonna set up the bat. Rebels showing bunt on that one. Interesting stuff, interesting stuff. The Rebels trying to load up the bases. Ball number 1-0 count. Looks like Tannehill going to get some word from his fellow infielders. Let's take a moment to kind of thank some of our financial sponsors. Newton Lions Club, Best Pest Control, Miller Insurance Agency Incorporated, American Family Insurance, Charleston Insurance, Union State Bank, Faith and Life Bookstore, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Harvey County, and court-appointed special advocate group. Midway Motors and Newton as well. Running on first and second for the Rebels. Reset. Rebels makes contact, racing over to first, and he will get called out at first. Big heads-up play by the defense, but the Rebels will advance over to second and third. So it comes to this one. Up next to bat for the Rebels, Marcus Pollard. Let's look at that one. Ball goes inside for ball number 1. Tannehill pitch. Number 25 comes in. Pollard makes contact with a foul ball. Goes straight behind him. One more count. Tannehill fires it in. Bit low into the outside. 2-1 count.
Once again,
Second and third for the Rebels. Bottom of the second, 1 out. Pollard. Not going to swing at that one. Rewarded with a 3-1 count. Rebels 1 ball away from having bases loaded. Pollard swings at that one. 3-2 count now. Full count. Nothing to lose right there, if I do say so myself. Pollard going to be tested. He's getting full count. Picture batter matchup. Pollard not going to swing at that one. He will get striked out. Strike number 3. Middleton out number 2.
Now batting number 5.
The bottom of the second.
Colby Gomez.
Gomez next up to hit the bat for the Newton Rebels. Once again, runners on second and third. Tannehill fires another one in. And swung at. Strike number 1. Gomez not going to swing at that one. 0-2 count. 2 outs. Bottom of the second. So second and third. 2-1 lead for the Kings. Page heads in. Gomez makes contact. We fouled out to the right side. First responders night for the Newton Rebels. Thanking all of our first responders out there. Next pitch, heading in. But to be outside, ball number 1. 1-2 count. Tannehill pitch number 34 is fouled off. Gomez not only blinking an eye, staying right with him. Still 1-2 count. Pitch. Slider 2-2 count. Tannehill pitch comes in. Gomez once again makes contact. Once again, the fence, catch fence, saves me. And our camera, goodness gracious, 2-2 count. Gomez makes contact, or bounces off of the leg of the catcher. Heads up play for the Rebels. They steal a point right there, steal a run. Tremendous heads up play.
Number 17.
Heading over from third to home was Drew Wardle. 2-1 is down the deficit, faced by the Rebels. Great heads up play. Sign of great coaching, honestly. Runners down first and third, 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Connor chase up. Makes contact with that one. Going to be a foul ball. It looks like out to left field. Runners going to remain on first and third. The Rebels strike 1. Chase is not going to still get that one. Ball number 1 itself, 1-1 count. Pitch number 3. Heads in. 1-2 count now. Once again, 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Rebels just got their first run in. Trying to make it their second before the end of this inning. Chazo swings at that one, and the runner successfully looks to steal second. No, they're going to be calling it off. It was a strike. Still 1-2 count. Cloverfield is the runner on first. So the count goes to 2-2. He's really kind of flirting with kind of stealing at second base. We'll see what he does, if he looks to do so. So makes contact with that one right between second and third. Going to bring in the second run of the bottom of the second. And for the Newton Rebels,
Number 12.
Alex Conoyer, comes in on that one. 2-2 is the overall score. Once again, my name is Adrian Holkeen, live from Klein Scott Field. 2-2 is the overall score. Bottom of the second, 2 outs. The Rebels have runners on first and second. Made our way all the way through the batting lineup. Chris Clark going to be starting this back up. Big number 12. Could be just honestly what the doctor ordered. Get some more runners in for the Rebels. Clark swings low at that one. Going to be an 0-1 count. Once again, 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Tannehill. Pitch number 45 coming up for a long bottom of the second. Pitch comes in low. Clark does not swing at it. 1-1 count. Going to keep him on second base. A little flustered after what he's kind of experienced this bottom of the second inning. And with that, catcher unable to bring in the ensuing pitch. And miscommunication once again within the infield. As the runners on first and second advance over to second and third. Now Clark, prime position to get some RBIs. We'll see what he can do. 2-1 count. And Clark makes contact with that one. Foul ball out to the right side. 2-2. To us once again, bottom of the second. Very, very close matchup. Just concluded about an hour and a half ago between these two teams. Where the Kings got the better of the Rebels. A closely, highly contested defensive matchup. And Clark, as we just saw, got striked out for the third out of the bottom of the second. But nevertheless, the Rebels keeping themselves in this ball game. 3 outs, bottom of the second, top of the third coming up from Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Stay with us. Welcome back, top of the third. Klein Scottsville, Newton, Kansas. Game tied up 2 apiece between the Rebels and the Kings.
First at bat, number 99, Carson Martin.
Carson Martin.
Right-handed batter, setting up right in front of Robles, the catcher for the Rebels. Makes contact with that one straight out into left field, and a quick single put up by the Kings to start us off here. 40 pitches now. Put up by Joseph Tredemeyer.
Van Hangberg.
Right now, once again, top of the third. Quick start. Handberg now sitting back up. That pitch to the outside and low. Ball number 1. Tredemeyer fires it in there. Robles keeps it out of harm's way. Strike number 1. Once again, the runner on first.
For the Kings.
1-2 count.
In the
Top of the third. 0 outs. And Handberg.
Right-handed
batter. Robles. Also, they called ball. High to the right. 2-2 count. Handberg swings low and to the right at that one. And the Rebels also get the runner out at second. Big time play right there. 2 balls and 3 strikes. Puts Handberg out, and they also kicks the runner out at second. You don't see that every day, but nevertheless, going to even out the count. Next pitch comes in a little bit high. 2 outs, top of the third. Next pitch, and into the outside. Ball number 2. 4th pitch incoming for Tredemeyer. Tannehill and Tredemeyer having very similar games. Exact same amount of pitches so far.
Ball number 8.
Pitch once again goes outside. They will walk.
The batter.
All the way over the first. Jackson Ellison.
12, Landon Haynes.
It's a reverse. Landon Haynes now next up.
To bat for the Kings.
2 outs. Once again, top of the third. Game tied up 2 runs apiece. Haynes breaks his bat on that one. Foul ball out to the right side. 0-1 count. Haynes finds himself a new bat. Once again, count 0-1. Top of the third, 2 outs.
Runner on first.
Kings. Tredemeyer tries to get the runner out at first. Unsuccessful, a little bit too slow. And Haynes will look this one down. Pitch comes in. Haynes swings at it. Strike number 2. 0-2 count. Pitch low and through the legs of the catcher, allowing the runner almost to go to third. Going to stay at second instead. Robles, once again, the catcher in this one. Wasn't quite prepared to that pitch. Maybe some miscommunication between him and Joseph Tredemeyer. So what happens here? 1-2 count. That ball pop fly in the infield. And the Rebels indeed bring it down, bringing an end to the top of the third. Bottom of the third coming up. Game still tied up 2 apiece. Anybody's ball game. And Klein Scott, Phil Newton, Kansas. Stay right with us. More action coming your way. Bottom of the third, fixing to commence. We just saw the Rebels get the Kings out, allowing no runs top of the third. We'll see what happens up next. They'll have some chance to get some runners in and break this tie and take the lead. First pitch, in and low. It's swung at by the Newton Rebels. Marco Ayala, right-handed hitter, or batter, hits that one between second and third. Going to get a quick base hit to start us out here, similar to what we saw the Kings do beginning of the top of the third. We'll see if it's different results. 0 outs, bottom of the third. Zach Boone.
Right here.
Set for the at-bat. Texting Ayala. Over at first base. Cooper Tannehill's continuing to test the runner over at first. Showed a bunt. Instead, Ayala able to steal second, going to stay there after the second baseman was not able to quite catch or bring in, I should say, that's out attempt or that throw from the catch or behind home plate. Oh, 1-0 count. If I can spit out my words here, 50 pitches now for Tannehill. 51 coming up. That pitch fouled off. 1-1 count. Bottom of the third. Runner now on second. To the Newton Rebels. 0 outs. Oh, 2 was the count. 1-2. Now the count after that pitch went a little bit low. Ayala still at second. That's stealing his way over from first to second. Tino keeping an eye on the next pitch. Going to be a strike ball, top side of the strike zone. Out number 1, bottom of the third. Up next, batting for the Rebels, Drew Wardell. Setting up. First baseman at Pratt Community College.
Not
Still
gonna
get that one. But Ayala, I believe, able to steal his way over to third. Now the umpire is going to call him out. Number 2, overzealous. Out number 2, the bottom of the third. 0 runners now on base for the Rebels. That pitch, a little bit high into the inside. Ball number 2. We're not going to look at the next one either. Going to be a little bit low. Ball number 3, 3-0 count. Next pitch once again low, and Wardell going to be rewarded with a free trip over to first base. 4-0 count. Walk.
Alex Familiar.
Sending him once again over to first base. Next up to bat, Alex Canoyer for the Rebels. (83 degrees, 77 degrees, feel like 75. Newton Canes are right now. Perfect, honestly, evening for baseball. What can I say? Kings trying to get the runner out at first. Unsuccessful. Let's get Alex Canoyer. Current batter up. 0-0 count. First pitch. Leading to a ball. 1-0 count. Once again, some miscommunication for the Kings in the infield as they tried to get the runner out at first. The errant throw that time from Tannehill led to the opportunity for the runner for the Rebels going all the way from first all the way over to third. Drew Wardell, I believe that was. If I remember, you does serve me correctly. Heading all the way over to third. Promise now to get over to home plate and get the Rebels on top. Could be up 3-2. Makes contact with that one, but the Kings able to get the out at first. Bring it up to end to the bottom of the third, top of the fourth coming up. Still a defensive standstill. Game tied up 2 runs apiece between the Rebels and the Kings. We'll see what happens when we come back. Once again, top of the fourth coming up from Klein Scott Field. Newton, Kansas, home of the Newton Rebels. Stay with us. More action coming your way. Top of the fourth coming up once again from Newton, Kansas. Let's take another quick peek at kind of our financial partners for the Newton Rebels. Mark Fox, local Wigan Realtor, Conradi Insurance Group, Pate and Pot, LLC Attorney at Law, Tim Marler Family, Conradi Insurance Group, Patriot Roofing Services, People's Bank and Trust, Platinum PDR Plus Paint, Roofing Services Unlimited, Shamrock Car Wash and Pouch Enterprises, John Oldham family, Newton Rebels founder Carl Hodges and family, as well as Arma Coatings of
First at
Wichita.
bat, number 15, Norman Gajas.
Farmers takes a big swing at that one. Strike number 1. 0-1 count. Not much has changed in terms of pitching during this ballgame. Joseph Tredemeyer still on the pitcher's mound. The Newton Rebels hasn't left there all game. Rebels also. Pitcher in currently. 1-1 count. Top of the 4th, 0 outs. Tredemeyer fires that one in there. Going to be strike number 2. 1-2 count. Going to be ball number 2 on that one. Goes a little bit low into the inside. Kind of testing kind of the resilience of the batter on that one. 2-2 count. Take this one a long way. Next pitch. Inside, but going to just barely glance the inside of the strike zone. Strike number 3. Brings up strike number 1. Top of the 4th. Kings once again trying to kind of get back on top. They took that early 2-0 lead, top of the 1st. Kind of stalled out since, haven't gotten a single run in ensuing 2 innings. They'll have to change that here right now. Next pitch. To the outside of the batter. Ball number 1. 1-0 total count. Being faced by the Kings. Hewitt not going to still get that one either. Look to the outside once again into the top. 2-0 count. Top of the 4th, 1 out. Next pitch to the inside. 3-0. Seen Hewitt have some luck as well in terms of hitting so far tonight. We'll see if maybe Rebels are going to test their luck here, maybe. Strike number 1, 3-1 count. That pitch hit by Hewitt will be fouled out to the left side. And over the bullpen. 3-2. Once again, 1 out, top of the 4th. Game tied up 2 runs apiece. The Rebels and the Kings. The Kings, for the first half of this doubleheader, took down the Rebels as Hewitt gets walked all the way over the first base.
Off the bat, number 44, Carlos Orrego.
Took out the Rebels by a score of 3-1. They're highly contested. Short. First game only lasted north of an hour. Some fast-paced, back-and-forth action.
Hewitt.
That first base once again for the Kings. New batter up. And that first pitch goes over the head of Robles, and Hewitt going to head over to second. Tredemeyer has 65 pitches in this evening. Tredemeyer pitch number 66, heads in, swung at. Strike number 1. Arriaga. Not going to get that one either. Out of Robles. 2-1 count. Robles calls that one in as well. Outside, 3-1. That pitch low, and it will send another runner a free trip, or give another runner a free trip to first. Arriaga He'll be next one up, Carson Smith. Next batter, looks like it might be a pitching change coming in. Tredemeyer, 69 pitches to start off this ball game of the first 3.5 innings. Indeed, are going to be seeing that. Runner on second for the Kings. They're currently tied up with the Rebels, 2 games apiece. Rebels will stay in as the catcher.
Brendan Byer.
For the Rebels.
The Rebels once again founded in the year 2000 by Carl Hodges. Carl still runs around the Klein Scott-Field grounds on game days and is honored each year when the team gives out the Carl Hodges MVP award at the conclusion of every single season. The team, of course, used to be a member of the Sunflower Collegiate League. So the league renamed itself the JL Collegiate League just not a few years ago. Not even a few years ago, I should say. The team travels, of course, every year to reach the NBC World Series, which of each and every season. A goal they have reached roughly 14 times throughout their existence since the year 2000. Brendan Byer, new pitcher in for the Noon Rebels. Once again, runners on first and second for the Kings. Robles and Byer kind of getting some reps in. Start us out here. We're going to start out for all these Byers' time.
The ball.
Now batting number 26, Carson Smith.
Carson Smith going to be the first one. First of the Byer pitches after subbing in. Number once again to Tredemeyer. First pitch from Byer coming up. Byer sends it in. A little bit low.
A little bit from
here. On a roll. Pitch number 2. Makes contact. Fouled out. A play. Strike number 1. Arriaga had 1 trip to the plate today. Not able to get on base. Has 8 on the season, only got on base 1 time. Byer, next pitch ends up being a strike. As of course, after that one, 2-2 count. So we pitch. Comes in low. But swung at strike number 3.
Number 9, Luke Stuckey.
2 outside the 4th. Luke Stuckey now next up. Runners getting on first and second. For the Kings. That pitch goes behind Stuckey, it looks like. Ball number 1. That pitch goes down and into the dirt. Robles going to try and haul it in, but the runner is first going to advance over from first and second to second and third. More runners in scoring position now for the Kings. Not what the Rebels wanted to see. And give a shout out to some of our host families once again: Becky Day family, Carrie Food family, Heather Haskey family, Hope Graver family, Kelly Peoples family, Kim Pouch family, Melissa Wardell family, Michelle Kaufman family as well. 2-1 count. The curveball to the outside, going to allow a runner to advance to home and to third. Some unforced errors now being shown by the Rebels. Byer, only 9 pitches into his outing tonight, 3-1 count. Deem himself right now, and he does force that swing, 3-2 count. Top of the fourth, runner on fourth, runner on third. And that pitch does go outside. Another walk, sending a runner all the way over to first. Runners out on first and second.
99, Carson Ward.
For the Kings. Byer still in on the pitching mound. 11 pitches in. Top of the fourth. Carson Ward gets hit by the pitch on that one from Byer, allowing him to head over to first himself. Bases now loaded, just like that, for the Kings up against the Rebels. Top of the fourth, the 7-inning affair in these two squads will take the Kings on top against the Rebels 3-1 earlier on in the evening. Byer into Robles, not quite able to bring in the pitch. 4-2. Now the lead for the Kings. To Carson Arriaga. Makes his way all the way over, around the bases. Now over to home. 4-2 is the Kings lead. Runners on second and third. Pitch, 1-1 count.
Yeah.
2-1 the next pitch. Hits the dirt once again, 3-1. Feels like Byer not really on the same page right now with Robles. Catcher for the Rebels. We'll see if they can put this runner away. 3-1 count. Lead 2 straight strikes. That pitch goes outside. Another walk. Base is going to be loaded.
Didn't want any water, Mark?
Now batting 25,
Three that
Jackson
that's
Ellison.
okay. I'll give it to you.
That's fine.
Jackson Ellison. Next up for the Hawks. 0-0 count. 2 outs. Top of the fourth. Bases loaded.
Jeez.
And another time when Robles not really quite able to bring in the pitch. Another run is scored by the Kings. 5-2. And a lead after 3. Honestly, unforced errors led to 3. 3 runs from the Kings. Just some unforced errors right now, as there is now a team meeting, infield meeting, at home plate. Jackson Ellison
Resumes his position.
In the batter's box. Runners on second and third. Currently for the Kings. Ellison swings at that one. And the Rebels going to be able to get him out at first, bringing the end to this long top of the fourth. Kings up 6-2, or 5-2, I should say, over the Newton Rebels. As the bottom of the fourth now awaits. We'll see if the Rebels can kind of bounce back after a bit of a lackluster top of the fourth. We shall see. Bottom of the fourth coming up from Clyde Scott Field. My name is Adrian Holguin. Stay with us. More action coming your way. Bottom of the Newton Rebels going to be starting us out. Right-handed batter. The Newton Rebels. Makes contact with that one out to the outfield. Flirted with the home run right there, but instead, the Kings indeed able to get him out on that fly ball out to right field.
Now is that number 39, Marcus Pollard.
Quick out in the bottom of the fourth once again. Rebels trying to bounce back after a top of the fourth where they gave up 3 straight runs off some unforced errors. Pitch in. Going to be a little bit low. Ball number 1.
Pollard.
Let's look at that one, either 2-0 is the count. Well, I say patient once again, 3-0. Good job at staying patient right there. Swing will pitch, but nevertheless, 3-0 count. Pitching's a little bit low, and Pollard going to be heading over to first.
So that
I love that.
5, Colby Gomez.
Remember the Rebels faithful. Next up,
Colby Gomez.
We've got Pollard just heading over to first.
Our rope.
Kind of get robbed a bit from that home run. It looked like to me, as soon as that contact was made, it's going to be heading straight over and gone over to the side of the far wall, but can't get it off from in here.
Hey, runner.
Colby Gomez.
He keeps pointing at things. Yeah.
Colby Gomez swings at that one, makes contact between second and third, and it will allow Gomez to get over to first, and also Pollard to advance over to second. Advise, do not deceive me. Not a bad start. Bottom of the fourth for the Rebels. Brand new runner. Make his way up.
The umpire.
Connor Chaso gonna look for the bunt. Rebels, of course, trying to load up the bases, bring some runs in, but one strike. Strike one. Cooper Tannehill has not left the game either now. Faced the entire second game of this doubleheader for the Kings. Chaser makes contact. Foul ball out to the left. Out to the left. Strike number 2. 0-2 count. Only one out. Bottom of the fourth. Rebels desperate. Get some more points on the board after giving up, once again, 3 straight runs on top of the fourth. Chaser makes contact. Foul ball to the right side. Reagan State Bank foul ball. Going to be a ball a little bit outside of the Richie Chaso 1-2 count. See if Chaso shows bunt or what he elects to do. Run on first and second. No, Chaso really gets hit by the pitch. I don't know if he did or not. Runner does get out from second to third. Chaso going to be staying in the batter's box. 2 outs now. Just like that. With the Rebels be beside home plate, trying to get some more runs on the board. Ball number 3, full count. Chaso going to be getting walked over to first, or umpire sees it differently, going to be calling it a strikeout. 3-3 was the final count on that one. Brings an end to the bottom of the fourth. Top of the fifth now coming up. Do or die. Time for the Rebels. Already dropped the first game of this back-to-back slate against the Kings. They want to make it a second at 2. We'll see when we come back. Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Stay with us. More action coming your way. Top of the fifth, first pitch in. And heads outside. Ball number 1, 1-0 count. Make that 1-1. Top of the fifth, 0 outs. No runners on base for the Kings.
Brendan Beyer.
Still the right-handed pitcher in. For the Rebels, out of Benedictine College. Delta, Colorado, sophomore. Once again, at a Benedictine. That pitch over the head of the batter. 2-2 is the count. That pitch makes contact with the batter, who is now going to be heading over to first base. Unevaded.
On to bat number 15, Darren Vargas.
Goes Haynes. Vargas now next up. Next pitch outside. Rebels had to dive to bring in that pitch. Beyer put it out of his reach. Runner able to advance all the way over to second from first. Ball number 1. Vargas still. Right-handed batter in. Next pitch, a little bit high. Ball number 2, 2-0 count. Next pitch, a little bit low, 3-0 count. Brendan Beyer looking over to second. Fires it back, and ball number 4. Ball number 4, Wilson Vargas over to first. Now Hewitt going to be heading back to the batter's box. Kings once again up 5-2. Going to have another infield meeting at the pitching mound. Looks like a pitching change to be made. The Rebels.
On pitching number 16, Wyatt Jordan. Set on the bat, number 2, Gunnar Hewitt.
Top of the 5th, resuming. Pitching change being made. Wyatt Jordan heading in for the New Rebels. Gunnar Hewitt once again being put in the batter's box for the Kings. We lead 5-2. Runners on first and second. Hewitt makes contact straight into center field. Ball hits the ground. And a runner is heading home for the Kings. And he will make it all the way around the bases and back over to home. Chris Clark,
Bat, number 44, Carlos
outfielder out of Southeastern Arkansas Community College, is the one that made it all the way home. Kings up 6-2. Top of the fifth. Runner still only on first and second. So what happens here coming up? Wyatt Jewett looking over for second. Fires it home. Runner does, or batter, excuse me, does swing. For strike number one. Arriaga. Once again. Arriaga gets hit almost in the head, it looked like. By the pitch. Base is going to be loaded. Just like that. Kings once again in prime scoring position. Arriaga took a hard hit on that one. Wyatt Jewett now talking it over with Robles. Here on plate. Next up to bat, going to be Carson Smith.
Number 26, Carson Smith.
Wouldn't be surprised if Arriaga wants to maybe get some revenge in terms of putting up another run on the board. Carson Smith awaits the pitch. First pitch ball on top of the fifth. Once again, 0 outs. Pitch makes contact with the bat of the batter. Out to right field. The Rebels get the first out of the inning. But they do allow one singular run. Second comes Vargas.
Number 9.
Kings up 7-2. Tate Lewis swings at that one. Luke Stuckey, excuse me. 0-1 count. Top of the fifth. Kings up 7-2. Two strikes, 0 balls, 2-0 count. That pitch goes straight into the dirt. Ball number 1, 1-2 count. Drew with right-handed pitcher to Tabor College, Danville, Kansas. Pitch once again goes low, 2-2 count. Pitch high into the left, 3-2. Next pitch, going to be a strike. Going to be a quick strikeout. Out number 2, top of the fifth.
Now batting number 99, Carson Ward.
Tough break.
Luke Stuckey once again. Carson Warden. Right-handed pitcher. Heading up. Take a swing at it. No pun intended. Contact with that one goes straight back to the back catch fence. 0-1 count. Top of the fifth, 2 outs. Kings. But 2 runs already in this inning. 3 in the inning previous. That pitch just to the outside portion of the strike zone, 0-2. That pitch, once again, a fastball right down the middle. 0-3 is the final count on that one. 3 strikes and you are out. Preferably 3 outs. Top of the 5th, going to bring an end to it. Bottom of the 5th, now coming up in the 7-inning affair between the Kings and the Rebels. We'll see what happens when we come back. Clyde Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. My name is Adrian Holkeen. Stay with us for more. Chris Clark back out to bat for the Rebels. Top of the batting board. The batting lineup, I should say. Bottom of the 5th. Kings up 7-2. We're now officially in the bottom stretch, or in the back stretch of this doubleheader. Of course, brought to us by some inclement weather we had this weekend in Newton, Kansas. Some downpours Saturday night, late into Sunday morning. But the Sunday game being postponed, we just saw that conclude around 2 hours ago now. With the Kings defeating the Rebels by a score 3-1. Now, the Kings, middle portion of the 5th, into the bottom of the 5th, lead the Rebels 7-2. Pitch number 1. Down the strike zone. Strike number 1. Pitch number 2. There's a bit of a curve to it. Clark swung at it. 0-2 count. Pitch number 3, up top. From Dagan Venduska. For the Kings. Clark swings at that one. Strike 3, and he is out. Out number 1.
Number 28.
The bottom of the 5th. Clark comes out. And with that, next up, Marco Ayala, once again, coming in. Pitch up top, ball number 1. Ayala makes contact with that one. Going to be a foul ball out to the right side. First base trying to corral that one in there. Not going to be too lucky. 0-1 count. Ayala fires that one over to first base. Going to be called an out at the end of it. 2 outs now. Bottom of the 5th.
Now batting number 13, Zach Boone.
Next Boone. Big number 13. Outfielder. Is that a shortstop? Southwestern. Larkspur, Colorado. Senior. Brings some experience in this Rebel squad. Swings at the first pitch. 0-1. Pitch low and in the dirt. 1-1 count. Kings 7, Rebels 2, bottom of the 5th, 2 outs. Pitch a little bit low once again. Ball number 2, 2-1 count. Menduska fires it in. Once again, low and in the dirt. 3-1 count. Two outs, bottom of the 5th. Menduska once again in the dirt, and it will send Zach Boone all the way over to first base.
Out to bat, number 11, Drew Wardell.
Once again, going to head over to the batter's box. Going to take another swing at it. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th once again. Kings leading the Rebels 7-2. Menduska inside, almost makes contact with the batter. Avoids that. Ball number 1. Number 2 comes in. Not quite held on to behind the plate, but for the Kings. Nearly saw right from first to second for the Rebels. And just stand still instead. Oh, 2 okay. Next pitch low once again, and that time we indeed will see Zach Boone make his way over to second base. Get a heads up play from first to second. 3-0 count. Another pitch inside leads to yet another walk. Runners down on first and second for the Newton Rebels.
Alex Noyer.
Alex Conoyer.
Have trouble with
I
that.
apologize. I'll get it. First pitch. Comes in, makes contact with it. It's going to be a fly ball out in foul ball territory. And the Kings not quite able to bring it down. Going to result in a foul ball. Strike. 0-1 count. Runners once again on first and second for the Rebels. Kono, you're going to take the 0-1 pitch. I can swing at it. Strike number 2. 0-2 count. Pitch number 3. A pair of stolen bases for the Rebels. Big heads-up play once again. They're desperate to get some runs on the board. Now going over from first and second to second and third. Big time heads-up play. Good job by Canoyer also of not swinging at that one, keeping that play alive. 1-2 count. Ball going to be fouled to the backside. 1-2. Going to take a big swing at that one. It's going to be a strike. And number 3, 3 outs now. Brings it into the bottom of the 5th. Top of the 6th now coming up. Once again, this game going to be going through 7 innings. So, long story short, the Rebels have 3 innings to get some stuff going here. We could see the ending of this ball game, or at least they have the top of the 6th, the bottom of the 6th, the top of the 7th. I'm not a math major. If that is correct, though. We'll see what happens when we come back. Klein Scott Field, Newton, Kansas. Rebels trailing the Kings 7-2, bottom of the 5th, heading in to the top of the 6th. Stay with us. Top of the 6th, the Kings going to try and grow their 7-2 lead. Wyatt Drownherd sends that one in. My name's Adrian Holguin. 1-0 count. Top of the 6th. Next one can be called a strike. 1-1 count. Van Hanberg. Out of Wichita, Kansas, going to be called that pitch going to be called a ball. Into the ground, into the dirt. 2-1. That pitch, I called a strike. 2-2. There's been a slider down low, kind of trying to trick the batter right there. 3-2. That pitch made contact with. Gonna stay in play? No, it's gonna be called a foul. 3-2 is gonna remain the count. Good try. Honestly, I'm surprised that he was able to get a piece of that one. Didn't really think it was really within his swinging range, but nevertheless, he got a handle on it and kept his at-bat alive. 3-2. Next pitch, and a side, but he takes a big swing at it. Luckily, I feel like he already had his mind made up on if he was going to swing or not by the time he even got up there for that previous at-bat. 3-3 is the final count there. 1 out, top of the 6th. Jackson Ellison now up top of the 6th. First pitch is in and inside. Ball number 1. Wilson receives the next pitch. Inside once again, ball number 2. 2-0. Makes contact with that one between first and second. And they are indeed able to get him out at first, it looks like, from up here. Indeed, I am correct. Out number 2, top of the 6th.
Landon Hayes.
Landon Haynes next up to take the at-bat. See the first pitch. Not going to swing at it. Ball number 1. Kings once again up 7-2, top of the 6th, 2 outs. That pitch, right at the bottom side of the strike zone, 1-1 count. 2 outs. Top of the 6th, no runners on base for the Kings. Pitch makes contact with the bat of the batter, but he will get called out after the outfield does its job for the Rebels. Top of the 6th comes to a close. Bottom of the 6th coming up now. Once again, earlier on in the evening, first half of this double-header slate, at least, the Rebels fell short against the Kings by a score of 3-1. Trying to kind of keep it from happening once again. They got to get some stuff going here real quick, though. We'll see what happens. Stay with us. Big thanks to our in-kind supporters as well. Gorilla Apparel, Signs, and Webbing. Gorilla Marketing Incorporated. Back Alley Pizza. Bob Burke and BuyLocalPlus.com magazine. Newton Recreational Commission. YMCA Newton. Greater Wichita YMCA. Summer Days. Here we go. Bottom of the 6th. First pitch. Won't move anywhere. Ball number 1. Danger Rebels, it looks like. That bat makes contact with that one between first and second, but he will get called out at first. Out number 1, bottom of the 6th.
Now batting number 9, Marcus Pollard.
Marcus Pollard, next up, designated hitter for the Rebels tonight. Big number 49.
Marcus Pollard.
Junior, Northern State. That pitch outside and to the top. Ball number 1. Kings leading 7-2. Bottom of the 6th. Ensuing pitch. Fired in. Up top. Another ball. Also take the big swing at that one. 2-1 count. Swing at that one. Carlos takes a big swing at that one as well. Going to be striked out. Got the second out on the bottom of the sixth. Gomez
Making its way up here.
for the Rebels.
Picture in the
ball game for of course the Diamond Kings. Vendus Castillo. David Vendus. Have a stellar day. First pitch will be fouled out. Strike number one. Next pitch makes contact once again, but Venduskin gets it. Will beat the runner over to first. Just like that, the bottom of the sixth comes to a close. 3 outs already. The Rebels put up a fight, but wasn't quite enough. Top of the seventh coming up. Kings will try to grow their lead one last time. We'll see if they can do it. Find Scott Field. Here at Kansas, my name is Adrian Holgain. Stay with us. More action coming your way.
First at bat, number 15, Darren Barajas.
Top of the seventh. Final inning. The 7-inning affair between the Kings and the Rebels. Kings up 7-2.
The latter
Stages of this one.
Right,
Rangers still in the ball game. They're at Danville, Kansas. That
Okay.
pitch. Inside, strike number one. That pitch to the outside, almost makes contact with the batter. One look at. Mealmakers, Pathway Care Women's Care Group for the Rebels, First Baptist Church, Newton First United Methodist Church, The Table, and Hope Graber. Still in need of team meal providers. If you or another organization would like to provide one team meal during the season, please contact any of the Rebels staff, of course.
Now to bat, number 2,
Strike out.
Gunnar
Out number
Hewitt.
one. Taco 7. Pitch made contact with. Runner will be getting out at first. 2 outs. Top of the seventh.
Now set up the bat, number 44, Carlos Arrea.
For Brady Brew.
Boomsma.
Let's look at that one.
Strike number one. Next pitch, going to call the ball. 1-1 count.
Kings up.
7-2, top of the seventh, 2 outs. Pitch heads in a little bit too high. Ball number 2, 2-1. That ball is made contact with, and it will stay alive. As Boomsma is now running the bases, going to make it all the way over to second. After, of course, that ball barely kept its way out of course, foul territory.
Down to bat number 17, Austin Winter.
I'm a little
Very
better.
last second. Ball stayed in play, and Boomsma capitalized up to second base. Pitch up. And a strike one. Austin Winter receives the pitch. Makes contact, foul ball. That's the right side, strike number 2.
All right, Jordan, still the right-handed pitcher.
And for the Rebels. This 30th pitch is in and low to Robles. Runner advances from second to third. Sends it in and will load into Robles. Another ball, 2-2. 2-2 count.
Robles.
From Southwestern College, Leander, Texas. Sophomore over there. Pitch hits inside. Gonna be a walk. 4 balls and 2 strikes.
Now batting number 9, Luke
Runners down
Sutton.
first and third. Top of the 7th. Kings up 7-2. 2 outs.
Luke Sutton.
Awaits the first pitch. Makes contact between second and third. Rebels can't quite keep it out of the field of play. Runner advances over the first.
On 7th at bat, number 99, Carson Ward.
Made his way around all the bases and back over to Grove. Get another run on the board for the Kings. 8-2. Now they're leading the runners on first and second. That pitch is in. And low, ball 1. Pitch number 2. Swung up and not quite swung at enough. 2-0. Next pitch, strike. Strike number 1. 2-1 count. The big swung at once again. 2-2 was the count. Carson Wharton swung at that one 2-2 once again. Top of the 7th. Next pitch swung at and makes contact with, and Wharton will be out at first base. Bringing an end to the top of the 7th.
Now, if you just stand up the stretch or you just want to sing along, here is the 7th stretch.
We're into the top of the 7th. Once again, the Kings leading 8-2 at this point.
Who's
Beth.
that?
It gives a few seconds. Don't leave us. Don't go away. Back at bottom of the 7th now. The last half inning of the evening. Rebels down 6 points. Near no runners, of course, on base.
First
there
up,
Rebels.
17, Connor Jason.
Jason first up. Chase up. Sees the first pitch. Takes a swing at it. Foul ball over to third. First out on the board.
Now batting number 12, Chris Clark.
Chris Clark now back up, number 12. Top of the batting order. Clark residing in Mays, Kansas. Currently attending Pratt Community College. Waiting on the umpire currently. Receiving some word. Everybody set the game back in motion. Mendoza fires that one in. Ball number 1. Pitch number 2. And Clark makes hard contact after right field, and the Kings pick up their second out on the fly ball. Clark
Next at bat,
losing into the stick on that one.
Marco Ayala.
One of the only times that's happened that really feels like so far tonight. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. First pitch. In and out of the strike zone. Ball number 1. Ayala not going to swing at that one. 2-0 is the count. 2 outs once again, bottom of the 7th. 2-0 total count. Kings up 8-2. Last half inning of the ball game. Pitch in, Ayala makes contact, fly ball. Kings indeed able to get the last out of the evening. They successfully complete the 2-0 sweep over the Rebels, getting their first 2 victories of the season. Now 2-4 on the year. Rebels have fought a 1-5 on the season. A lot of time to turn their season around, though, I should say. Rebels now have to wait to take on their next opponent
We invite you back on
Full
Thursday
size
night,
doubleheader.
late time, 7 p.m.
Hutch Monarchs and
The Rebels
Hutchinson
take on the
this
Hutchinson
Wednesday.
Monarchs.
We'll return
This is
back to
Casey,
Newton
your
this
music
Thursday
director
and
for the
Friday.
Rebels.
There's some back-to-back home ball games against the Monarchs and the Kansas Cannons. Make sure to come back and join us. Once again in Newton, Kansas this Saturday. Or excuse me, not this Saturday. This Thursday and Friday. Long evening. Gotta keep my words true.
My apologies.
My apologies, but once again, the Kings better the Rebels 8-2 in the 7-inning affair. My name is Adrian Holge. Thank you for joining me. And with that, I bid you adieu. The Rebels fall short once again, 8-2. Thanks for joining me. You, of course, know that you belong. I will see you in the next one.